This is brought to you by Cloud with Shad. Hey there, and welcome. If you're completely new to cloud computing and you're looking to break into tech, well, you are in exactly the right place. Let's just dive right into this explainer on AWS networking. Today, we're going to take some seemingly complex cloud architecture and we're going to break it down into something you literally already understand.
I want you to picture this. Imagine running a delivery business across Accra, Lagos, and London. Your network needs to be private, reliable, fast, and globally connected. AWS networking and content delivery services help you achieve this. Keep that West African delivery network right in the front of your mind because it's going to perfectly guide our entire journey today.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap. We're going to cover Amazon VPC, VPC security, VPC connectivity, content delivery and DNS, load balancing, and finally, some practical scenarios.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Amazon VPC.
So think of the virtual private cloud, or VPC, as the local headquarters of your delivery business. It's basically your own private, isolated data center right there in the cloud. It's a secure, completely fenced-off piece of AWS that belongs entirely to you. Now, when you set this up, you have to define its size and its addresses using something called CIDR blocks. Basically, if your VPC is your private warehouse, those CIDR blocks, they're the dedicated street addresses for your delivery zones. They tell the network exactly where everything is located. Inside that warehouse, well, you need some organization, right? That's exactly where our VPC components come in. Subnets are essentially specific, partitioned rooms within your warehouse, and each one lives in just one availability zone. We have public subnets, which are fully accessible to the outside world, kind of like your customer-facing storefront. And then we have private subnets. These are the highly secure, internal-only rooms where you'd keep your most sensitive assets, like customer databases. Oh, and to get packages actually moving between all these rooms, you use route tables. These act as your internal dispatch instructions, telling every single package exactly which path to take.
But how do we actually connect this warehouse to the outside world? We've got two main doors. First up is the Internet Gateway, or IGW. Think of this as your massive public loading dock for two-way internet traffic. Delivery trucks can come in and they can go out. But wait, what about those secure private subnets that don't have public access, but maybe they occasionally need to reach out to the internet to download a software patch? For that, we use a NAT gateway. A NAT gateway is like a secure outbound-only mail slot. It lets your private databases send a request out to the internet and get a specific reply back. But it totally blocks the outside world from initiating any connection back in. Absolutely crucial for security.
Moving right along to Section 2, VPC security.
So how do we protect our warehouses from unauthorized access? Well, we use two critical layers of security, and you really want to remember this for your exams. First, we have security groups. These are like the stateful guards stationed at the door of each specific office. And by stateless, I mean if the guard lets you out for lunch, they remember you and they automatically let you back in. Plus, they operate on allow rules only. They essentially just hold a VIP list of who's allowed in. On the flip side, we have network ACLs or NACLs. These are your neighborhood checkpoints securing the entire subnet. But these guys are stateless. That means the guard checking you on the way in doesn't talk to the guard checking you on the way out. You absolutely need explicit permission for both entry and exit.
Let's look at Section 3, VPC connectivity.
As our delivery business scales across different regions, we're going to need secure ways to connect our local warehouses together. Let's walk through your options as you grow. Starting small, there's VPC peering. This is a direct private link between two warehouses. But, and this is a big one, it is not transitive, meaning if warehouse A connects to B and B connects to C, A cannot automatically talk to C. You'd have to build a brand new direct road between A and C. Next step up is a site-to-site VPN. This gives you a secure, encrypted tunnel running right over the public internet. It's quick to set up and super cost-effective. Now, if you need massive, predictable speed, you upgrade to Direct Connect. This bypasses the internet completely. It's a dedicated, fully private fiber optic line running straight from your corporate office into AWS. Finally, when you've grown to hundreds of warehouses, you bring in a transit gateway. It acts as a massive central dispatch hub that easily connects thousands of networks, so you don't end up with a tangled web of individual links.
All right, Section 4, Content Delivery and DNS. Okay, so how do we deliver packages instantly to customers worldwide? Like moving a package from Accra to London in literally the blink of an eye? Enter Amazon CloudFront. CloudFront is AWS's global content delivery network, or CDN. Think of it as a huge global network of local storage lockers, which AWS calls edge locations, placed in cities all over the world. Instead of shipping a super popular package all the way from your main origin warehouse in Accra every single time a customer in London orders it, CloudFront caches or stores a copy of that package right in a local London locker. So overseas customers don't have to wait around. They get lightning-fast delivery from the edge location right in their own backyard.
And to actually guide customers to your business, we use Amazon Route 53. This is our intelligent master dispatcher, translating friendly names, like your website URL, into IP addresses. And it has some pretty brilliant routing policies to handle this. Simple routing just points traffic straight to one server. Weighted routing splits traffic by a percentage, so you could send, say, 20% of traffic to a new route just to safely test it out with A/B testing. Latency routing is all about speed. It sends the customer to whichever region responds the fastest. Failover is basically your ultimate disaster recovery plan. If a hurricane takes down your main warehouse, it automatically shifts all traffic to a backup site. We even have geolocation routing, which dispatches traffic based on exactly where your user is located in the world, and multi-value routing, which provides multiple healthy IPs to ensure everything runs smoothly.
But sometimes you're dealing with dynamic, live traffic that just can't be cached in a locker, like a live video feed or a massive online game. For that, AWS offers Global Accelerator. Unlike CloudFront, Global Accelerator doesn't cache packages at all. Instead, it actually pulls your users off the crowded, bumpy public internet as fast as possible and puts their live traffic straight onto a VIP, high-speed lane, riding directly on AWS's private global network.
Which brings us to Section 5, Load Balancing.
With all this global traffic just rushing in, we desperately need a way to manage the chaos once it arrives. Elastic Load Balancing acts as your local warehouse dispatcher. It distributes all those incoming requests across multiple servers, making sure no single worker gets overwhelmed and drops a package. There are three main flavors here. The Application Load Balancer, or ALB, handles web traffic at layer 7. That means it's actually smart enough to read the web application package label and route it based on the specific website path. Then you have the Network Load Balancer, or NLB. This operates at layer 4. It doesn't care about the deep details, it just slings millions of packages per second with ultra-fast extreme performance using static IP addresses. And lastly, the Gateway Load Balancer, or GWLB, works at layer 3 to specifically route traffic through third-party network security appliances.
Let's wrap things up with Section 6, Practical Scenarios.
Let's see how this all applies practically. This is vital not just for your actual job, but for crushing those beginner certification exams. You really need to be able to match a scenario to the right architecture. For instance, if you've got a web server that needs to talk to customers, you place it in a public subnet and attach an internet gateway. Simple. But what if you have a highly sensitive database holding customer credit card info? You definitely put that in a private subnet. And if that secure database needs to download a software update from the internet, you use a NAT gateway to fetch it safely, making sure you aren't exposing that database to incoming hackers.
Let's rapid-fire a few more real-world business problems. If your boss suddenly asks for a disaster recovery plan, you're going to want to implement Route 53 failover routing. If the marketing team needs to do some A/B testing on a new app feature, go ahead and set up Route 53 weighted routing. When you need to deliver fast global content like images or videos, you deploy the CloudFront CDN. If your employees are all working from home and need access to the private warehouse, set them up with a client VPN. And finally, if you have to migrate a massive amount of corporate data over a dedicated line, you're going to order an AWS Direct Connect.
So, to tie this all together, think of AWS networking like running a reliable West African delivery network. VPCs are your private routes. Security groups and NACLs are your security layers. IGW/NAT gateways control internet access. And CloudFront, Route 53, Global Accelerator, and ELB ensure fast, secure, and highly available delivery of content.
If you can just remember that delivery analogy, you'll have a rock-solid foundation for understanding how data moves through the cloud. But hey, now that you've got your infrastructure built, how are you going to compute the actual data inside those warehouses? Well, that is the next great cloud mystery for us to solve. Keep building, keep learning, and as always, this is brought to you by Cloud with Shad.